Good morning, Manchester United, all over the world, or maybe it's afternoon, maybe it's evening, depends on where you're sitting. Welcome back to Mufc Realist TV. Good morning, United, and I'm here joined by my beautiful co-host, Mark. How you doing, Mark?
Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? How are you doing? I know you're missing the beanie today, guys, but got to show you some here today. How are you doing,
Excellent,
Mick? How's
excellent, Mark.
everything?
I'm very good, thank you. Stressed, as you know, I'm sweating. It's hot. I arrived in Thailand 3 days ago, 4 days ago. So just acclimatizing. But we're here not to talk about me. We're here to talk about the latest and greatest about Manchester United news. Guys, if you haven't, smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't. And good morning. And take a sip on your coffee while we be back in 10 seconds. Are you ready to rumble? Let's do this.
Has the Premier League ever been more challenging?
I feel welcome. Dit is mijn home and I want to achieve success. Okay?
And we all want to achieve success. Is this coffee so beautiful? Smell? Can you smell it, Mark? I blow it over to you
Smells
guys.
nice.
Welcome
Smells
to the...
nice.
Yeah. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the agenda today. What we're going to talk about that Erik ten Hag is being haunted by the media. The British press and the tabloids wants him sacked, but he ain't going nowhere. Did you know that, Mark?
No, I actually
I
wasn't
don't know.
sure because I have my own opinions, but I wasn't sure. But when you look at the different things and possibilities, he's more here to stay than anything else.
Yeah. Also, what's been rumbling over the weekend is something about Ratcliffe wants Ten Hag to stay, and he wants to invest an additional £300 million or something like that. We're going to talk about that a little bit as well. Who said what's going on here? Is it NDAs or is it more the British media again doing what British media doing best, including wanting to sack the manager as well? VAR is also doing United and Prem pretty dirty, Mark. That's what we're going to talk about a little bit. And later on in the evening, Jarvis will do his VAR edition as well tonight. And Antony is going apparently be on the chopping block as well, Mark. He's been diabolical.
Lots of stuff.
Lots of stuff.
I
And
mean,
big positive, Mark. Big positive. Dialo is back in training. Mark, there's a lot of things we're going to unpack, but let's give us a shout out. Hey, whoever's in the stream, g'day, good morning. Are you awake? Are you drinking your coffee? Let us know where you're from, where you're doing. Mark Davis is here. Good morning, guys. I'm hearing that Qatar have put in another bid for United. Is that true? Or channels saying that Ratcliffe will win and Glazers out? Here's my take on it, Mark. Who has actually confirmed this other than the British media? Has it confirmed from the Rain Group or the club itself? I think it's more. I've seen a lot of fan channels now flipping and saying Ratcliffe, but it's just been British media. Reuters was the last one to say, and they haven't changed the stance. That just 92 Holding Foundation, they haven't withdrawn, but they have refused to entertain to raise the bid higher. Because they are the only serious bidder. I mean, they're willing to offer 100%. Why would they outbid themselves? So they're basically, what's going on here is Ratcliffe has been restructuring his deals from initial 69 to 51 to now at 25. That deal needs to be ironed out. It's been submitted and hasn't been given the green light as of yet. So it's not that advanced, according to my opinion. What's your opinion on this, Mark?
Well, at the same time, I disagree with the 25%. I'm a fan that would hope for 100% sale in the club. Glazers out completely. It doesn't matter if it's
100%?
Qatar or if it's someone else. It could be anyone. Once it's 100% sale. And when you think about the Jim Ratcliffe sale, he's been decreasing his bid. This is like the fourth time he's decreased his bid value. And it seems to me that he's trying to find all different ways to win. And he's not actually set in a way, and it's not decided yet, because if he had won, everything would have been announced already. If not, you at least hear some kind of concrete information, like, okay, so since we've heard none of that, I'm just thinking it's media speculation. We know the media didn't want Ten Hag. As you say, they're trying to get him fired. The media doesn't want Qatar, as you say, because it's Manchester United. They don't want us to get stronger, so they're gonna do everything in their power to drive us in the direction that they want us to go ever since they lost.
I totally agree with you there. Yeah. 100% agree with you.
100%.
I mean, I've been doing this sales takeover ever since it started, and one thing is clear and evidential. Majority of this is media driven, like, you know, second guessing. One time is like, you know, Sheikh Jassim is the leader, now he's out. Who has actually confirmed he's out? Who has actually confirmed that this deal is going to be completed with Ratcliffe within 2 weeks? There's something called NDAs, and either way, like, you know, yes, both. I mean, even if it was Sheikh Jassim or even if it was Ineos or Ratcliffe, they both have probably put in a structure the way they want the organization to look like if they take over. And definitely Erik ten Hag is part of that structure, right? Another thing where this 300 million investment coming from, it baffles me. So what is 300 million going to do in infrastructure? Nothing. That's going to do absolutely nothing. I'm okay what you're saying there, Mark, as well. If he some way, he's a smart businessman, you know, but if he gets a clause in that contract to say guarantee within 3 years he will have full control of the club, I take that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
I
otherwise,
can see that as well.
yeah. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? So for you to come in and buy 25% and invest 300 million, that's basically throwing away your money, unless you put in an astute, you know, forcing clause in that contract to say, okay, Glazers, I give you this money right now, but within 3 years, according to the legal litigation rights of this commercial contract, you have to sell me the rest of the club within 3 years, right? Then I can sort of
100%.
swallow that. Yeah. But to have
100%.
Glazers to stay there, no. And I don't believe that Qatar is out either. It's been quiet from their side. They're just not willing to increase the bid anymore. They pretty much said they haven't walked away from the process, but they have already completed the whole evaluation within Rainy Group and everything. So their bid is on the table. They're not going to increase anymore. Why would you? 100%.
Exactly.
And this is why I've been getting confirmed from Qatar side as well. Like, you know, no need, right? We will sit there. We are confident with our bid. You know, the Glazers need to sell. They will come sooner or later. But for the time being, they have to sort of explore the surge in Ratcliffe 25%, which is very complicated. And it hasn't it's been submitted, but it hasn't been green lighted because it's been checked. So according to my opinion, it is, you know, Ineos that's putting, you know, spanners in the wheel in this to have a swifty sale. Like, you know, it's very complicated. So yeah, it's going to take a little bit more time, my friends.
Exactly my point. George Vukovic is coming in. Hi, Mick, have you seen all the so-called United channels going on about Ratcliffe? It's doing my head in. Glazed out. What do you think?
Yeah,
You're
I've seen that.
basically.
I mean, it's based on what? I mean, that's you got to ask the difficult question. Based on what? Is it based on what Mike Keegan is reporting? Is it based on Ben Jacobs is reporting? How do they know it, right? Of course, they speak to some club officials. Nobody's going to really tell you what's going on, right? There's NDAs. It's very protective. Nobody really knows the figures. How much money? Where is this 300 million coming from? Unless it's just leaked for PR spin, right? From Ineos side, because bear in mind, Ineos gets a lot of free PR by being part of this bidding process. You know what I mean? So far, what I've seen is been most Ineos just banging the drum in terms of PR. 192 Holdings has been dead quiet since June, since they submitted their final bid, right? So I don't believe it's over, and I know it's not over either. So, hey, that's just my take on it.
Yeah, it's just how it goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It happens.
Anyway, happy Monday.
Happy Monday, happy Monday. You know how it is when United wins. It's like relaxing. Everyone's chill. There's no toxic news out.
Yeah.
There's only relaxed by the United fan base. It's good when the guys win. You know what I mean? It gives the fans a time to breathe. You know, a sense of relax and It's always good. A good day after a United victory. You know.
It is, which brings me to the next topic, Mark, which I want to bring into the Jumbotron. Media wants Erik ten Hag out. This is what we've been talking about. You know, love him, hate and adore him, but never ignore us, guys. We are Manchester United. We've seen this before, like, you know, fans has woken up smelling the coffee to see, like, you know, how media is spinning that, you know, Manchester United are, like, you know, missing out on a major target, Portuguese manager, yada, yada, yada. They're even going on since we won. They had nothing else to do. They have to sort of, you know, slate that the players went out for a dinner, a bite to eat in London after the victory. Like, it's just normal. You just go out with the bonding with your friends. Licha was there. Everyone was there having a victory, like, you know, having a good meal, bonding meal. No, the press has to make shit out of it, to be honest, right?
Yeah.
I don't really like it. What's your take on this, mate?
Yeah, well, they're always trying to find something to distract the fan base to make it seem like something's wrong. I know you don't have it there, but they also mentioned that Marcus Rashford was notably absent from that dinner. And it's like, you don't know if he's not feeling well, if he needs to rest or what happened. He failed a medical, you know what I mean? He failed his fitness test before the game. So he could have been getting an early night rest, doing exactly what he needs to do for the team. And you're highlighting this like if it's some kind of row or some kind of subliminal, dispute in the team. It's crazy.
Mm.
And then when we hear all these reports that if Sir Jim was to win the club, he wants Sir Ten Hag there. But then you're hearing reports, well, oh, because there's a Amarorist had said something like, he's probably not going to be taking up the job, or
No,
Zidane has like
no,
refused. It's like,
no.
okay, so where's the
Oh,
deal on Poch?
listen,
Poch
listen,
is
mate. Can we speak some realism here, right? Okay. So, fun fact is, right? Um, it was even reported that Ten Hag is the joint fastest manager that hit 50 wins. And another fun fact is, I did some digging. Um, we played 11 games in this season. We're sitting on 18 points, right? Guess
Mhm.
last season, 11 points, 18 points. 11 games in, 18 points as well. Equal par as last season. And guess what?
Exactly.
We're sitting, 7 points of seventh or fourth, or 6 points of fourth, right?
Yeah, 6.
So I think people should just relax a bit, because you got to, last season though, he had like an almost a full squad, right? This season,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just look at it from an injury perspective. I just want to sort of give you a fun fact here as well. Like, guess how many injuries Manchester United had this season in the preseason to now?
16.
Almost 20. Yes. Guess how many City has have?
4? I think it's 4.
2. Liverpool? Liverpool 2, yes. Long
2,
term for
2, 2.
Liverpool is,
Liverpool.
yeah. I mean, key players for City is of course Kevin, De Bruyne, of course,
Kevin De
Kevin De
Bruyne.
Bruyne.
Yeah.
Yeah. Liverpool 2. That's a long term injury on Thiago and Robertson, right? 2. Arsenal has 5,
Mm-hmm.
which is Gabriel Jesus, Odegaard, Smith Rowe, Timber, of course, Timber with a knee injury in the beginning,
Yeah,
poor guy.
long term.
Thomas Partey, right? Spurs has 5, but the only one, there's like minor players which you don't really, they're fringe players, but the major
Mm-hmm.
player there's Ivan Perisic for a knee injury there as well. So if you look at it, they are the ones that sit in top 4. And minor injuries, well, we had 16, 20 injuries, right? And I'm
Yeah.
rest assured that these, they're going to pick up a fair share of injuries as the season progresses as well. And we are getting stronger. Amad Dialo is coming back. We have Kobe Mainu on the bench already, touch grass. We have definitely Luke Shaw coming back as well. We have Leach is going to coming back. So we are going to be cooking second half of the season. This is what I believe. So that's why I'm saying top 4 is not out. Top 4 is out of reach. I think the fans are more panicking at the moment, because I understand we are playing shit football at the same time, but you got to sort of look at the situation and say, well, the manager cooked with the ingredients what he's got at the moment, just to scrape by to serve you something. It ain't looking pretty, ain't probably not tasty, but what is man supposed to do, right? When media is calling for him, what he's been dealing off the press, with all the allegations, with the takeover and everything. Tell me any manager here that's in the Premier League that's been dealt this hand, and then decide if you want to call him out or in. I'm Ten Hag in.
Time, guys, because when I look at it, when I look at all the holistic approach to everything, and you look at all the different squads, none of the squads are dealing with toxicity around the club that we're dealing with. Imagine we started off the season with 2 players having to be suspended or removed from the team for like circumstances exigent to football, right? And the fan base wasn't happy. And then we were dealing with a poor transfer window, lots of injuries. Everyone, it's Ten Hag's second season. Like 5 games in, sack Ten Hag. It's like no manager in the Premier League this season had to deal with anything of that sort of nature. And when you look
No,
at
but
Ten
at the
Hag,
same time, man, at the same time, haven't
It's
we
similar.
learned anything? Haven't we learned anything? Nothing. That's going to not change things, right? People need to wake up and smell the coffee, because this is Glazeonomics 2.0 over and over again. The hamster wheel, what I call it. Basically, we want quick fixes, but we're not ready to look for the long-term solution. So how's that going to do? Like sacking manager to get a new one. Okay, yeah, fantastic. Or get rid of Rashford and we make better. We were never going to do that unless we have a pure vision project and we stick to build on that, right? This is his second season. Stick to it. He had a lot of bad injuries and shit that's going on around the media, and media's chasing him once in his head. But no, he's determined to succeed, and he is a winner. So I stick with him 100%.
Yeah.
Knowing there is a light at the end of the tunnel, Mark.
And just to show you how much of a winner he is, right? Let's as we were talking about, tied for 50 in the shortest amount of time with Ernest McNally, who did that in 1908. That was the last time a Manchester United coach got 50 wins in 79 games or less. Guys, he has to be doing something right, because no one repeated that feat in almost 100 years. You know what I mean? So
no, I know. This is the worst start.
Pay attention to.
Yeah, it's something to start with, but I understand the global fan base, especially the match-going fan. They're paying expensive money to go to watch this, right? And it hasn't been a nice performance. And realistic side of me, I'm also angry because I want to see good football, but I'm willing to sacrifice that form. Just get us over the line, get us those 3 points, because at the end of the day, we're going to be judged by the table, not about how we play. That's the thing, right? So understanding the situation where we are now and where we're going to be when all these injured players come back, then he can start cooking real good 5-star Michelin star meal, in my opinion. So we are getting more balanced. That's what I'm trying to say here, And, I just think that VR has been doing us dirty as well. Apparently, it's just been on the back of everything. We are the ones that have been given the highest, what do you call it? Misjudgment of VR in the whole league, if you didn't know. Jesus Christ. Basically, there was, VR is doing United and the Premier League dirty, This is how you can see, if you look at the ones that have been given the fair mistreatment is marked in yellow. In red there. Palace is 1, Sheffield Wednesday -1, Spurs -2, Wolves -2, United -5. -5. And then you look at the yellow one, which is the net, which is Forest +2. They've been most favorable. City's +2. Brentford +1, Everton +1, Fulham +1, Arsenal +1, Chelsea +1, Newcastle +1, Villa 0, Brighton 0, Burnley 0, Liverpool surprisingly 0. And these are the clubs probably paid the PGO tax to them, so because it's surely looking dodgy to me. It's been some really horrid decisions in the weekend as well. We are going to talk about that tonight with Jarvis's Corner, with Andy Tate and Tom Jones and stuff like that. But, we're not going to dive more into it. But in general feeling, we saw the Newcastle game, Arsenal. That was absolutely disgusting how they got robbed. You know what I mean? And also our chalked decision. If we look at it, mate, the Harry Maguire situation. I never heard of
that question.
Yeah. Go ahead. What do you call it?
Is that the second phase of play? I don't know, but from what we know, right? The second phase of play, right? In the first phase, Maguire wasn't offside, Garnacho wasn't offside, Scott was offside. But when the ball was kicked, it went over to Garnacho. He was offside, playing everyone else onside. So it's
but there was the first time they called it. What do you call it? They called it something. Impartial offside or something. That was the first time they ever ruled it. How the hell are you? You know what? He had to go, and he even had to go and check it in microscopic CSI mode, right? With a tooth comb and brush and tail, with extra binoculars or whatever you call them to zoom in. Man, God, this has got to be a joke, And how if you look at Newcastle game, first and foremost, Newcastle game, the ball was offline, out of the line, Clear and obvious. Everyone can see that on the video. And then there was like Joe Linton was pushing like this in the penalty box as well. So he was basically fouling, and they still gave the goal, right? How's that a goal? I just don't understand.
So now,
Anyway, Jarvis, and I'm going to talk about this later. We're not going to steal his show tonight, people. But let us know in the comments below. Let us know in the comments below what you think about VAR. What is the solution, Mark? What is the solution? Should we have VAR bots?
I think we need those bots, those offside bots, you know, automatic offside. I think it's better. Better you use the chip in the ball and the automatic. Get rid of the human error as much as you can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the human error is becoming sickening. VAR is supposed to be used when there's a clear mistake made by the referee, right? A clear mistake. If you have to examine the play for 5 minutes, 3 minutes, how could that be a clear and obvious error?
I don't know.
That goes against everything what they thought of. They instilled VR for. It's not a clear and obvious error. If an obvious error is clear.
But just the fact, Mark, just the fact. Look at this table in red. Manchester United is the highest that's been disadvantaged by VR. Doesn't that tell you something? I mean, I hate to be conspiracy, but we've seen it. You know, we've been robbed so many times by microscopical decisions. And this goes all the way back from the season with City last season, where VR actually gave that offside when Marcus Rashford scored the goal, the winning goal 2-1. And ever since then, VR has been getting, press and VR, and everyone couldn't shut up for it for 1 week. And ever since then, we have this microscopical, how do you call it? Injustment.
Examination.
No, it's Manchester United. No, it's like it's Manchester United. No. We don't want to be scrutinized in the media. No. It's the biggest club in the world. Everyone's talking about. No. Just don't give it. All right. I just find it like, it's not biased at all. Like, Anyway, cool. How about Liverpool game yesterday?
Luton. I don't know. I thought Luton was going to win the game, and I came home just in time for the last 5 minutes, and I was like looking at it like, what? Luton? No, what's going on?
Big up Tahith Chong, one of ours.
Yeah, big up to Tahith Chong. He did well. He pegged them back. That was a performance. I think, Luton is a strong team. They're not exciting as everyone might hope.
But we are playing them on the weekend.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna do them dirty, but that's just how it's gonna be. You know what I mean? They're having a decent game against Liverpool. I think they're gonna be happy and looking up to the game against United because of their result against 100%. Liverpool, and then 100%. United is gonna just be United. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
I think that the game that we won this weekend, for me, I watched the game last night late. I had watched it over a second time. I was like, it's an all-round decent performance. There are a bit of performances that I hear a lot of people saying some things about some players, and I was like, well, Antony didn't pull up any trees, but he didn't have a terrible game. He didn't do. He could have done a lot more.
Okay.
No, he could have done a lot more. But like, I look at some positions where he made a couple passes to Eriksen. Eriksen lost the ball 11 times in the first half. 2 of the times he lost the ball in the first half led to direct counterattacks, and no one is screaming about Eriksen. Eriksen was like, he was the worst player on the field yesterday, and it's crazy. People would say Bruno is wasteful. Bruno missed 2 passes yesterday. 2 passes he wasted yesterday.
But
everything else was interfered.
You know what? We're going to talk about next subject, which is a potential loan move. What's been reported out there in the media for Anthony Dos Santos. We're looking at a potential. What was it? Somebody from Flamingo
a potential loan swap deal with João Suarez, I believe.
Gabriel Barbosa as well. Gabriel Barbosa.
Yeah, Gabriel Barbosa.
Flamingo.
But at the same time, when I look at the deal and I'm like, it's not going to happen. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if he does get a replacement. There are also rumors that Ahmad is going to Leicester at the end of the season in January, the first week in January. There's some rumors that Ahmad is going to be sent off to Leicester. So I'm looking at the different options. And there's also been reports that they're considering a return in January, in July, because they've been talking about it, and January might be a bit too soon, for the Wonder. And he's been doing well in La Liga, so I think they're gonna just let it rest for the rest of the season and bring him back at the end for the new season next season. And I think then in the summer is where we might see some movement on Antony. I don't think we're going to see anything on Antony in January. I think he's going to be given time to try to resurrect himself, because if we are being honest and fair with the young man, he hasn't pulled up any. He set the world on fire in the first season, but this season has a poor start. He's been dealing with a lot of off the field matters, and it's not something that anyone can just flip a switch and back normal after you go through something like that for the period of time he was dealing with.
Yeah, you're right. That's realistically, that is realistically what's going on. His headspace is not there at the moment because he's been dealing. He's been emotional wreck. He's been alligated. He's been fighting in court, which has been blatant lies, and of course, it's going to affect you, right? I get that, but most fans are seeing, including myself, are saying that, okay, we gave him a little bit of leeway, in the first season. Of course, you do cut some slack, but this is the season when he's supposed to kick, and so far he's not firing. And then what I see is that when you get Palestri coming in for the last 10 minutes, doing more what he could have done for the past 2 games, then you got to raise the question. I rather than start Palestri because Palestri was fundamental in providing that assist to Bruno as well. This Antony's not really pulling any trees at the moment. He's lacking confidence. He doesn't take on his 1v1 with his defenders. He's always stopping and going backwards. Like, there's something really wrong. So why are you force playing him? Put him on the bench in that case and give, Palestri or Dialo a chance. That's my opinion, Mark.
Exactly. I was just going to good segue. I was just about to mention that Palestri has been showing up every time. In my opinion, every time he gets a chance, he shows why he should be getting a chance. And I totally agree with you. I was of the opinion that Antony should not be starting games right now. I would have pretty much hoped that Erik ten Hag maybe just gave him some minutes off the bench for the last 2 games that he was started. He should have been coming off the bench. I believe Palestri should be starting. Antony should be getting minutes, so he gets back into a rhythm until because he needs time, and it's like a disservice to both him and the club because it's there's no point. I understand you want to try to play him back in form, but it's just not working right now for him. So get Palestri on. He's been performing well. You know what I mean? Every time he comes on, he looks. He's 100% very hardworking, and he's always contributing something to the team when he plays.
But same thing, same balance applies. Same balance applies on the left side with Garnacho. So these two guys.
Was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, if you have these hungry players, what is the balance, right? You have the left side Garnacho, this providing threat. He's young, he's fearless. Same with Palestri on the right side. Then you have the Libra balance, and in the middle you have Rasmus Højlund, which can be properly serviced, according to my opinion. Exactly. But right now we have that little bit unbalanced, and we don't see Rashford anymore, of course, being sidelined. And I think he should do the same example with Antony to put him off the side, at the end of the day. Because guess what? Guess what? I'm very excited to say big up Jarvis Cocker. Palestri said played more than 30 minutes and did fantastic. And I believe he did. He deserves chances, 100%. Yes. I want to bring out something to your attention, people, as well, which I'm very excited about as well. So I just want to bear with me. I'm just going to try to where am I?
Well, in the meantime, I'll just lay on this little bit of news for them while they wait. And currently, we might be seeing a triple exit in January, guys. I know Scott McTominay has been well, and Harry Maguire has been a stalwart in the last few games he's played. Pretty much like a warrior last night. He was really good in defense. I would have probably gave him the match. I hadn't given it to Bruno, and I think Bruno well deserved his man of the match performance yesterday. I think he could have done better, but it was a very strong and consistent performance from the team captain. And as we know, the exile Jadon Sancho, you know, he's probably going to see himself in Dortmund in January, because as we know, Dortmund are trying to find a way to re-sign the youngster, and it's been difficult for him. You know, he hasn't really gotten a consistent run of starts, let's say 5 to 10 games starting. He hasn't set the world on fire in his first season and a half. You know, it's been a tumultuous time for the young English winger, and as much as I, as a fan, would love to see him do really well for Manchester United, you know, the circumstances at hand, it's not working out, and it's looking like he's going to be making an exit in January, and the club is very much looking for an exit full time and not a loan, and I don't think they're recommending to loan him, because it's going to profit anyone but the player and the club receiving the loan. So I will also move on one time and keep the news short. We will be receiving a transfer boost as Man United look to bolster and replace with a very, very important centre back for the future. Goncalo Ramos has been, you know, one of the top candidates for this position. I know a lot of people have been enjoying the Antonio Silva link, but Goncalo Ramos has been mentioned to have stated that he wants MUFC, and Real Madrid, who are also linked with him, recently pulled out, confirming reports that he's preferential to the English Premier League side. And as we notice, guys, you know, it's just a little bit of news and transfers, and I'll just move along really quickly. Possible Casemiro replacement is going to be coming in. What is this, Mick? Mick, what is this you're showing us here? Amad Diallo is back on grass.
Sorry, man. I just got cut off. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, people. I had some internet issues here, so I'm back. And apparently, when I came back, he took my share screen with me. So keep continuing. My apologies.
No worries. João Gomes, this young Brazilian who's over at Real Betis. Betis, right? Yeah, he's been doing really well, and he's been seen as a likely replacement to our injured Casemiro, who is seemingly out until the end of January this season. So, look, guys, I know you might not know a lot about this youngster, but he is very combative. He is very good on the ball. He drives through the midfield. He's not shown a lot of scoring potential, but he makes a lot of good progression with the ball. So you guys, you know, do some research, check him out. I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be interested in this youngster when he comes to the club. I think it's going to be really, really good to have him. And as we celebrated Erik ten Hag's 50-win record in 79 games, guys, give the boss of a club a big round of applause. You know, fans, we selected Erik ten Hag. The media doesn't want him. The ex-players didn't want him. It's the fans.
They wanted Pochettino. Look what Pochettino is right now. Why is they not giving Pochettino any stake? Why are they giving us a stake? Come on.
Why would they give Pochettino any stick? He's a media dollar and love guy, you know what I mean? And Erik ten Hag, you know, he's Dutch, so he's not that. He doesn't come off as being super friendly, but you know, he's very direct. And sometimes you could misunderstand, misconstrue his words. And it's something that, you know, you just have to get used to. It takes a little bit of getting used to. He's like a fine malt beer. You know, you got to acquire a taste for it. It's amazing. And I think he's going to do very well. And like Jarvis has been saying to me for a while, top 4 is definitely possible, guys. Do not miss out. So, Mick, let's touch on what you're talking about here as we go back.
Yeah.
And let's see.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, this is... you know, I don't know what's going on here, but I have some technical issues. This is pictures coming out from, you know, Carrington yesterday. Young Amad Diallo is back in training, guys. Look at him. He's on grass, kicking and playing with the ball. Good control. And that is most positive, exciting news to share today, because, boy, did we miss him. Boy, did I sort of, it was like in preseason in US when both Kobe Mainoo went down and, you know, Amad Diallo, they showed so much promise, you know, so it was heartbreaking to see them, like, you know, go down in injuries. It's never easy when there's youngsters, and, you know, I'm just happy that they're coming back, and I don't want to see him go on loan. I want him to see, I want him to challenge Anthony Dos Santos' position together with Pelistri, because right now we don't have competition in that place, you know. So that's the positive news, guys. At least we're getting players back from injuries. Apparently, like what's his name there? Alvaro Fernandez is also coming back after his loan spell. He only signed 6 months loan deal. So the left back situation looks good as well there. Luke Shaw looks like Touchwood is coming back as well very, very soon. Who else is coming back by memory?
We also are getting, Ahmad, Ahmad is going to be returning shortly. We all know Terrell Malati has been seeing some very huge progress on his training after he having had also had injury on his knee. So he should be coming back in January as well. I think we're going to see about 5 to 7 players return in January. We may see 2 to 3 players return in the next few weeks. Most certainly, one of my biggest look forward to is the return of Alvaro Fernandez, who has been setting La Liga alight with his defensive performances and drawing a lot of interest from top clubs all over the world. Like Real Madrid is scouting him, Barcelona is scouting him, PSG is scouting him, Bayern Munich is scouting him. He's coming back to United in January, guys.
No.
You know, we can't leave this guy
Big
out.
up for everyone that's tuned in. Big up El Mac. Big up Jamie Vane. Big up Ivo Bostic. We Deserve Better is here as well. Box is here as well. And we saw glimpses of Jarvis Cocker as well. This Mark Davis also. Thank you for tuning in, guys. This is a short, snappy update. Tuning in tonight, it's Jarvis Cocker's Corner, 9 p.m. UK time, with no other than legendary Andy Tate and Tom Jonas. It's going to be a cracking show today. Tune into that show today. It's going to be a lot of discussions creating VR. We're going to talk about football in general, no gash, no corporate clickbait stuff. And remember, Glazers out, green and gold until we are announced and sold. Guys, like and subscribe to this video.
Just before we go, Mick, I just want to mention to the United women, great comeback and equalizing draw in the 2-2 draw against Brighton last night. The girls had faced some troubling times in the first half after dominating the game. They went down 2-0 goal early, came back from Ella Toon with an assist from Miss Williams and Leah Galton, who came in and finished the last to keep equalizing so that United shared the points. And, you know, did not lose. Continue to be unbeaten in the league going forward so far in the WSL.
Yep, 100%. It's time to close the shop. And big up to United's women team. And we need all the positive energy right now. Support the team, support the manager for FX's sake, without even saying the bad words. And give this video a thumbs up and like and subscribe. This has been Mick Ruby here in the morning, in the afternoon where I'm sitting. It's 4:39 Thailand time, and Mark, you're in Germany, cold freeze in Germany. Guys, see you later to the next video. Bella, take it away. Glory, glory, Manchester United people. Have a nice continuous Monday. Bye for now.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up by smashing that like button. Subscribe if you have not done so yet. If you want to take it to the next level, you can always show your appreciation to sponsor our channel by clicking below the video title, where you will see the heart icon with the text saying, thanks. Or you could buy me a cheeky little coffee by scanning this barcode, or visit this link to buy me a virtual coffee. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this content. Remember, glory, glory, Man United, Glazers out. It is green and gold until we are announced and sold. That was all from me. I wish you a good day and a great match experience, and I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching Mufc Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.